Hi, this is Mike with Reformation Garden, and today I'm going to show you how to cross-pollinate okra. So this is an okra flower that I have ripped the petals off, and we're going to go cross-pollinate with my hybrid. So this is the Louisiana 16-inch long pod. So I want an okra that can get quite long, so you can kind of neglect it, come out every maybe 3 or 4 days instead of 2 to 3 days, and collect it and get more for your money because you're getting more okra. My hybrid is a cross between the Star of David, so it's a thicker okra. Then it was red burgundy, and then last year I mixed it with either another red or a crimson spineless. So I lost the seeds for all my okra. I don't know what happened to them, just got misplaced, accidentally thrown out. So at least one of my plants have survived, one of my hybrids. So I just want to make sure that I keep continuing on with an okra that I am grateful for, because the last year it was not good. It was green with a little bit of red blush to it, and now it's pretty much all red. It has just a slight green spot to them. So the Louisiana was flowering and my hybrid is flowering at the same time, so we're gonna go take care of that right now. All right, here's the hybrid. It's beautiful, mostly red. But you can see there's just a green hue to the backside where maybe the sun's not getting to it. Here is the flower, and it is a nice, it's a little bit redder than the Louisiana. So, sorry for my gloves, trying to do this 2 hands. So we're gonna take this, get the leaf out of the way. Basically make sure, it looks like it's already been pollinated with itself because there's bugs in there. There's like a little tiny roach, and all the ants love this plant because it's just, it releases nectar or just sweetness throughout the whole plant. So that's why you see ants crawl over this thing. So I'm just gonna go here and touch the yellow pollen to the stamen and just make sure I coat it really well. So I'm gonna put the camera down and kind of release the petals off this one so I can get in there real good with it. So I'll be back. So I'm back. I pulled the petals back a little bit. It's kind of hard trying to get this leaf out of the way. Just keep going, because there was a portion of it that looked like it was already seeded or pollinated, excuse me. So I'm just gonna make sure I get in there real well. So you just can't 100% go from just this one. You're gonna have to do multiple. See, that was the bug that was inside. I'm not really sure what that is. Oh, maybe it's not a roach, it's a little beetle. So we're basically gonna go in here and pollinate this, a couple more flowers, but I'm also gonna cross it. I'm gonna mark this one with like a little piece of twine, with a little tag, or just even a tag. I think I have an actual tree tag. We'll mark this, and we'll put the hybrid / Louisiana 16-inch long pod. And when the next flower comes out, I think I'm gonna cross it with, if I can get another flower. It's called Abigail's Coffee. It was a very rare one, and I had several pop up in Louisiana, and then I have a Silver Queen, so I actually might do all 3. So this is the back side of it. Here's a nice pod. So you can eat this pod now, or you can wait till tomorrow. Probably after that it'll be a little too far along. If not, if you forget to harvest your okra, it's not a problem. If you got rabbits, just feed it to them. They'll munch down on it. Nice heavy fiber for them. So I don't see any more, and just to make sure, I'm not blind to you, come down here to the grass. And my tag, hybrid okra. So this is not the burgundy, because it looks pretty close. But when this grows out, it's actually got a very thick pod, but it's actually elongated, because Star of David is a very short, very fat okra. Alright, it's kind of sad when you have a bunch of plants. So I'm over here looking for it, standing right next to it. So it looks like it actually hasn't bloomed, but it is being clobbered by the peas. It's already got one thing up it. These are the iron and clay peas. Do not, whatever you do not overseed this iron and clay peas. They are very prolific. The only reason why this side over here is so thick with them is during Hurricane Matthew, I had a bunch planted on the other side of the property. And so I'm getting in here trying to undo this See, there you go. They wrap, and then multiple stems come and wrap, and this thing will then just be absolutely clobbered. It'll just, as another one climbs on it, it'll pull this one down. As another one climbs on it, it pulls it down even further. So eventually this plant, quite tiny, will just be completely engulfed in peas. And so I'm gonna have to take a knife and come here and cut these pieces out because it's too intertwined. It's already grown past the okra over here into the grass and intertwined with another one. So just be careful when you plant the southern pea or cow pea, whatever you want to call it. Iron and clay is a very popular one you can get for like 40 bucks for 50 pounds or less. It's probably less than 40 bucks. And you can do like a whole acre with it. I've got a couple other big patches that Hurricane Matthew blew the seed into. I didn't have enough time to collect it and save them and spread them sparsely, so it all blew in one section, and it just happened to fall over here. So I've got like a cherry tree, some yucca, more yucca, and bananas. Oh, over Mexican sunflower cutting. Then we have a native persimmon that pretty much died back because we had a nice drought for 2 months in the springtime when it's supposed to be raining, and now it's just rained consistently for like 70 something days. We got some lemongrass and more bananas. Just trying to create a shade pockets. Like, it's like the only shade I have here, and it'd be nice if I can actually stand under it. Obviously there's shade at the back of the property where it's not mine, but there is a mimosa that's created a nice cast. There's 4 large trees, 1, 2, or 3, and then the one died, but it's coming back over here somewhere. It doesn't have enough growth to provide shade. These were tree plantings from a new house. The guy had a beautiful view of a creek, or part of an outlet or inlet of St. John's River, one of the side pieces, and sure enough, the builders put these 4 trees right in front of his view. I was like, I already have a spot that I left because there were old growth oaks that he decided to keep. So it blocked, say like this is his view of the river. He had left all these oaks here, and then they had put these 4 trees and the view here. So he's like, they put them in the weirdest spot. So it's like, yeah, I'm gonna get them out. What was nice about them is they were freshly planted about a month. So all I had to do was wiggle them out. Thank God he helped me, because for some reason it was so hot and I was getting so dehydrated or something. Like I was, I had to sit and like take deep breaths, and I was just getting overheated for some reason. And I felt so embarrassed because I'm like, this has never happened to me. But I can't, the actual root balls were, like it's probably 150, 200 pounds, and I'm just not used to picking that up because I'm doing like the easy, lazy gardening, The heaviest thing I gotta do is pick up a bag of soil, and that's rare. Or a bag of 50-pound seed. I do that normally at work, but I'm not sitting there, and he didn't want me to drive across his lawn, so I had to hike it, probably at least 200 feet, so I was dying, and that was during the drought. So we've got another small nursery plant that started out very tiny. It was probably about this tall, so it's doubled in growth. And I believe this is an elm, or Nordic elm. I have other elms like winged elm and American elm. One of the winged elms was completely devoured by the goat. He stuck his little head out through the cage after he tore it open with his horns. So see how these peas are just makes beautiful ground cover. This will make a great mat of carbonous material. Oh, frog. when it dies back, as soon as it gets like a little cold, it just completely whimpers out. But the hotter it is here, so I mean, this is something, if you've got degraded land, it doesn't matter what soil type you have, these things grow in it. Obviously, they might be a little bit slower in the clay, but it hasn't really stopped this plant. I mean, it's kind of a nuisance, but if you've got tall grass like this, which I had a lot of, and this whole patch here, this pampas kind of grass, it takes it over, and if you just walk on it briefly, quickly, it'll go to the ground, and then they'll keep it on the ground. I mean, they'll just like that. Yesterday, see that hanging off in the wind? Yesterday that wasn't even that tall, it was only up to the bird feeder. So just that little growth, and then each vine will continue to grow on that, so that'll end up being like this huge cone, and actually might bring that down. So I have to maybe go in there, at least cut the tops off, so it kind of, but I think it's a nice little cover for the birds. They've eaten a little bit more since now there's cover. You know, they've got some places to hide and, you know, to stop, because it's kind of a far stretch from the woods on either sides to come here. Because I used to have hawks that would stay in these dead trees over here. They would just pass, and you could hear them, and they're loud. People on the phone, if I was talking to them, they could hear them. I'm like, what is that sound? I'm like, it's just the ornery little hawk. And they got some type of growth here. I'm letting it go. Let's figure out what kind it is later. A lot of times for you locals on Jacksonville, you know, they're doing a lot of construction on 295 and stuff like that, so they've plowed over a lot of the woods. This is the first thing that pops up. I mean, within a week, it's already knee-high. We've got a lot of work got to do, so I'm gonna cut this. It's already been kind of a long video, so I'll cut it now. So this is Mike with the Reformation Garden.